Barry, coming to get to work? You gotta clock in and you're late for your shift. Alright, you ready to work? Or are you just gonna chill under the shade?
I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans.
Alright, welcome back. Episode number 2 of Frontier. And today's goal is to get this thing functional. We've got a few issues to resolve here. Plugged this in on episode number 1 and found that flippers are not working. Both of them, so I'm not sure what that is yet. Could be connector related. Who knows? Could be fuse related possibly, but no, I don't think that's the case. The out hole is not registering. That could just be a switch. And the displays are misbehaving. They're kind of showing up, but not very well. And I think that they might be getting too much voltage. So we're going to look into that. And the areas I'm going to have to investigate are solenoid driver board, crusty MPU, and power supply. So what I think I'm going to do is just start by checking the voltages on the power supply, making sure they're in spec. And if they are, then check all the voltages on this guy. And I think that should help to start narrowing things down. Oh, there's Barry just passing through the window. Hey, Barry. He's my new helper. Made an appearance in episode 1. And who knows, maybe he'll come down and visit during this episode. We will see. But let's get started, bust out the multimeter, and go to work. Okay, well, I thought for fun, I might actually check out this electronic pinball games repair procedures manual that came with the machine. I've seen these multiple times. I probably have several copies kicking around, but I have yet to actually look at it. So I turned it to the module replacement index, and we got power transformer module, also known as A2, I guess, on page 18. And check this out. Symptom 1, voltage absent or incorrect at remote module. Example MPU J4-15. MPU. Anyway, it has, check this out, all the voltages right here for all the test points on the power supply. Nice and laid out, nice and easy for me. So what we want is basically 5 volts at test point 1, 230 at test point 2. That's for the displays. This is for like logic for the MPU, I believe. Test point 3, 12 volts we'll call it, I believe is also logic. Test point 4 is AC voltage. It's the only AC voltage. And that's, I believe, for all your lights. And then test point 5 is 43 volts DC. And that's the variance you're allowed to have. So for display voltage, you're allowed to have plus or minus basically 30 volts. And that's still deemed to be okay. And then 43 volts is for solenoids. So that's kind of handy to have right there. I mean, I was going to bust out the schematics in the manual, but again, they like fold out, and it's just, takes extra table space, and it's a little more awkward. So this is a nice handy dandy manual here, and let's go test those voltages. All right, that should be a decent enough view for y'all. Let's measure these voltages. Bring my manual close and handy. So test point 1 is right here. Where is it? Right here. And guess what? We have 0 voltages. Do you know why we have 0 voltages? Because the machine is off. So that measured correctly. Now, let's do it for real. Okay, so I just unplugged all the connectors to the solenoid driver. So we're not going to get the full boot up sequence and attract mode and all that, but should have 5 volts now. They say you're supposed to stick your hand in your back pocket when doing these tests because especially the display voltage, it's 230 volts, and if that passes through your heart, you will die. So if you put your hand in your back pocket, you divert the path of electricity around to your butt and down to the ground, and then you may not die. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Test point 1. 6.0 volts, and that's right in spec. Okay, test point 2, the big one, our display voltage, 180 volts, and we're allowed 30 volts variance, so that puts us at about 210. If we add 30, right, which is a little bit low, but I think it's okay. It doesn't concern me yet. Test point 3, that's supposed to be our 11.9 volts. I'd say that's pretty damn good. I'm going to jump over to test point 5 here because we're sticking with DC voltage, and that is supposed to be 43, give or take 5. We're right on spec there. Change this to AC voltage. Test point number 2 is good. So display voltage is just a little bit off, but it doesn't concern me. And even though that bridge rectifier being mounted to the cabinet side is fugly, it's doing its job, and it doesn't concern me just yet. So let's move on to the solenoid driver voltages. Okay, let's check this solenoid driver. I reconnected it. We'll power the machine on. And I tried to look in my little manual there for quick and easy all the test point voltages, but I didn't really find it, so I just jumped on PinWiki, and sure enough, right there is a handy dandy chart for all of the voltages you need for all of the boards. So let's see what we got. I did notice that in the high voltage section, which I removed the shield, so again I got to be very careful. It goes right here. Behind that shield there are a couple crusty looking components. I'll show you after we check the voltages, and I suspect that that is going to be why my displays are funky. That's going to need possibly some parts. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Test point 1 is supposed to be 5 volts. Test point 1 is here. 5.2, so that's good. And test point 2 is supposed to be 190, so that's the display voltage, plus or minus 5 volts. That's this right here. Got my hand in my back pocket, so that's low, 166. But I'm going to need an extra hand for this. I'm going to have to take my hand out of my pocket. Okay, we can turn up this dial, try and get some more juice. Okay, what are we at? 170, it's working. 180. There we go. Test point 2 is good. And test point 3 is supposed to be 5 volts. That is over here. That is good. Test point 4 is supposed to be 230. That is up here. That is 240 and change. It's a little high. I might want to dial this back down just a bit. afraid to go in there. 246, still up there. Test point 5 is over here. And that's supposed to be 12, and that's a little bit up there. But to me, all those voltages seem good, so maybe messing with the dial possibly got my displays to kick in, so let's we'll check this out. Okay, first of all, I'll show you what I was talking about. You can see like that resistor there. It's pretty looks a little suspect. That resistor maybe even. These guys. So that area is suspect, but I just kind of glanced. Let's close the laptop so we can close the door. And it looked, I glanced at the front and it kind of looked promising. Let's move my multimeter out of the way, but I only saw it for a millisecond, so fingers crossed. Hallelujah, look at that. All displays look like they're working perfectly. So I guess the voltage was just out of spec from that dial. Gotta like that. Okay. Sweet. One problem solved. Let's go into display test and see how it really looks. Oh, that's beautiful. There are no burn holes or measles in any of these displays. They're all friggin' perfect. That is a pleasant surprise. Okay, cool. Well, guess I don't need to rebuild the solenoid driver just yet, but I'm going to do the upgrades and mods to it. I'll do that after. I want to see if we can get these flippers working and the out-hole next. Okay, well, I guess I spoke too soon. The displays have started acting up again. So, might be dealing with a connector issue at this point. But at least we know that all the displays are in fantastic condition. And that the problem is elsewhere. So, if I wiggle these connectors around a little bit, see if that does anything. Nope, okay. I'm going to have to investigate further. Okay, so I've removed the solenoid driver board. This thing needs to get rebuilt. There are several things that can be done. Main one is this old filter cap needs to be replaced. That's very important. Reflow all the headers. Got to do that. And then there's a few ground modifications / improvements you can do. One of them, just going off memory here, I haven't looked this up recently, but you got to tie test point 1 and 3 together. They're both 5 volts, so if you just loop them together with a jumper wire, that makes that nice and stable. And then there's a few spots, I forget where exactly, oh, I know what it is. It's the negative side of the capacitor. So that is right here. You want to tie this into another ground there for extra stability. So put a little jumper between these two, this and this ground plane here, and then the other capacitor, you want to do the same thing. So that's positive on that side, negative over here. So that's this guy. You want to tie that into a ground, maybe on this corner here. And then, so that's 3. Yeah, I think that's it. There may be one more. Actually, I think there's several more things you can do, but those are the main things. And then, of course, I should test these components, see if they're all good. They should be okay, except, I don't know. Maybe they're just dirty. I'll have to look closer. And I don't want to do all that right now because I've only got maybe an hour to fart around down here tonight or this afternoon. So I stuck in a new, is this Alltech? Yeah, this is an Alltech solenoid driver. So I can deal with that other solenoid driver later. But now with this in here, let's see what happens. See if we get any error messages. We've got these diagnostic LEDs. If any of them are locked on or red or something, then you know something's wrong. And then little LED lights for voltages. 3.3 volts here. There's the 43 volts. Check that out. Let's zoom in here. 43 volts is happy. 12 volts is happy. 5 volts is happy. I don't know why there's a 3.3. And something's happy over here. 180 volts. You got this fun little light dancing around with a little tornado in the middle. How cute. Very cute, Alltech. I think that accounts for all the lights. Now, I would really hope that the displays are now stable. If not, then we have to look elsewhere. Okay. Well, at least I can rule out the solenoid driver board. So I got to do some more research and see what I can find out. All right, I think the next thing I'm going to do is bust out this brand new MPU. I don't think I've actually ever used one of these before. I've used several Alltechs, but this is from nvram.weebly.com, and I believe it is Andrew Spittler who owns the business and makes all these boards. And thank you, Andrew. I love your website and all the available boards you make for pinball. It's a game changer. And, you know, it looks a little different than your Alltech board. So, comes with a toothpick. I'm going to guess that that is for these dip switches here. All off, out equals Bally, and all on, in equals MPU 200 stern. So, all off and out is Bally and MPU 100 stern. Okay. And then I imagine there's a dip switch setting somewhere to select your game too, right? So I'm going to look into this, set this up for Frontier, pop it in, and then see what the state of the displays are. Okay, here we go. I found the dip switch settings online here. Frontier. We need dip switch 25 and 26 on for free play. That sounds good to me. So 25 and 26. And here is the tiniest little dip switch thingamajiggy here. Look at this thing. That is teeny. That says game selection there, right? Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. That is not game selection, what I was just looking at. That is just to get free play action. So, 25, right here. Turn that on. And 26. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So, 25 and 26 are already on. Okay. So, we should be set to free play. Now I actually need to find the game info. Okay, I found it. I just had to move over a bit. So, there's the 8 dip switches. 3 on, 2 off, and then on, off, on. Alright, I'm going to go set that. Okay, does that look right? 3 on, 2 off, and then on, off, on. 3 on, 2 off, on, off, on. There we go. All right, we're in business. All right, we got the NVRAM MPU installed, All-Tech driver installed, good voltages on the power supply. So let's see what happens now. I love having these boards, just I don't really want to use them if I don't have to. It's good to have them on hand just for testing and diagnosing and ruling things out. But we'll see if I'm probably going to keep the NVRAM MPU installed because the original one is just pooched. And I will likely try and rebuild the original solenoid driver. Then I can keep this for diagnostic purposes. And if I don't have to buy a new one, then I won't. So here's the big test. There we go. Okay, so can probably confidently say that the issue for the displays was stemming from the MPU somehow in some way. Don't imagine it's connectors because I reseated the connectors and currently the connectors are working. So we've got that. We should be on free play. And now for fun, let's just see if the flippers start magically working. See if free play works. There we go. Okay, 0 points, nothing triggered accidentally. And here's the big test for the flippers. Hey, look at that. So, MPU is responsible for that too, I guess. This thing about shotgun replacing boards, you don't really know for sure, but the next big thing is the out hole. Let's see if that switch works. Nope, that doesn't, but that is probably a misadjusted switch, I'm going to guess. But we can actually flip our first game, Frontier. It's on the like chimes sound setting, so I'm going to have to adjust that. There's way cooler sound effects. We're not going to get no crickets playing on these sound settings. There's a little explosion-y type sound there. Oh, there's a Bally brick for you. Okay, making progress. I'm going to check on that out-hole switch and I will be back. Alright, first let's check out the sound options on page 7. Because if you don't know, Frontier is known for the awesome cricket sound effects that happen in the game. And they get more and more obnoxious the longer your ball is, and it's awesome. So we need crickets. And here are the sound options. So we need to go, it's not in the back box actually, we need to go into the coin door settings, go to number 18, and we want to change that to number 3. Most all scoring will have a noise effect with background. Maybe we're on 2 right now. Most scoring will have chime effect. Number 1 is playfield switches associated noises without background. 0 is most switches associated with chimes without background feature. Maybe we're on 0. I bet we're on 0. Let's change that to 3. So let's go into settings here. Just keep hitting that. No, I don't want solenoid test or sound test. Okay, here we go. I went through all the diagnostics. Now I'm going to adjustments. And this button works fine, so that's good news. 18, yeah, is at 0. So now we got to hit the start button. 1, 2, 3, and now there shall be crickets. Oh yeah. Okay, just got to get that out hole resolved, and then we'll be in business. All right, let's check out this out hole switch. And I do see something that ain't quite right. That leaf on the top here is supposed to be on the other side of the wire there. So that ain't working, but it's a nice and easy fix. By the way, Chicago Pinball Expo is still going strong. It is Friday, and this is a great way to learn all the modern games because they're playing on nothing but moderns right now, and I'm learning lots, so I listen in the background. Anyway, I put the leaf on the right side of the wire, so now stuff actually happens. So let's put the playfield down and see how it goes. All right, ready? Let's start a game and drain the ball. Check that out though, listen. Where's the speaker? There's the crickets. It's my favorite. A lot of the times at a tournament, you can't really hear the crickets because all the other machines are going, but I've got no other sound going on in this basement but crickets. It's glorious. All right, let's check the out hole. I'd say we are good to go. Okay. Should I kind of fix this slingshot? Or just go play a game? Give me a minute, I'll think about it. Okay, I thought maybe the left slingshot just might need screws tightened on it, but it's not going to be quite that simple. There's been some hackery going on here. Someone put this screw to hold the bracket in place, so it's actually not aligned as it should be, and that's why it's funky. And then you got this Robertson screw with a washer holding this piece. So there was a sheared off screw in my little in the inside of the cabinet, and maybe the other half of that screw is in the wood. No, because that was a machine screw. Either way, I need to fill the holes with toothpicks and wood glue and then put in some proper screws to make this not so flimsy. And look, similar stuff is happening over on this guy too. We got this thing's about to fall right off. Like, I don't know, I guess the old screw holes just stripped on that too. So I'm gonna give those a full and proper rebuild, but first we must play crickets. All right, about to play my first real game of Frontier. Oh, I should take my headlamp off. I don't need that anymore. Oh, I got this one. I was looking at a bunch of different ones, and this is the one I ended up going with. Fits right on my hat, although my brim kind of can get in the way a little bit, but it's not so clunky and bulky, and it's bright. And yeah, so I'm digging it so far. So here we go. Can you hear them crickets? You can hear the return springs from these flippers just making that boing noise echoing inside the cabinet. But here we go. We're live. Oh, I just hit the letter C up top and it spotted me the A. I gotta remedy that. That's like a liberal setting. I want it on conservative. You can't be getting spotted any of those letters. You gotta earn them all. I hear something locking on and I don't like it. What is it? Something buzzing still? What? Is that 2 balls? Is this set for 2 balls? Oh, let's try that again. Okay, this is ball 1. Let's see, C. Yeah, C definitely spots A, and I'm sure vice versa. And we cannot have that. I'm not doing a whole lot of playing during this play test session, am I? There's a B. So that should be all 3 of these guys collected. We got some light bulbs to deal with, of course. Oh, I hear something. What's locking on? This relay? Okay, I don't know if you could see any of that, but the humming is from this relay. That opens that gate, because you can see the flashing arrow up there. That means the gate is open. So I can go in there, collect a bonus, and then it closes. So just a little bit of a noisy relay. Not a locked on solenoid, so that's good. All pop bumpers are working. I'll give them a good rebuild. Rebuild the flippers. It's not like a Demolition Man where there's a whole lot more stuff to deal with. This is pretty straightforward. That drop target does not want to drop. Okay, it says ball 2, I believe. I think it is set for 2 balls, unless I'm just horrible at math, which is true, but definitely distracted with all that's going on. But anyway, definitely a good canvas now to work with. That I resolved the main, most glaring issues. For now, I'm just going to have fun with this. Do the playfield, rebuild the mechs. And yeah, well, maybe I'm not quite done this episode. Let's see. It's 5 o'clock. I'm leaving in about an hour. So maybe I will fart around just a little bit more. Okay, so I went in and I changed some settings. So yeah, A and C rollover lanes. If you make A or C, it puts both lights out. So I changed that to conservative. I changed pretty much everything to conservative. It was in fact on 2 balls, so I switched that to 3 balls. And yeah, this is special stuff. I don't care about that. I put it on conservative. Frontier bonus score adjustment. Going in out hole Frontier bonus will not be collected. Well, no, I've kept that one on. Frontier bonus light adjustment. Frontier bonus will stop at 110. I kept that on liberal. Because if you collect bonus, you want to get the max. And so the gate recall adjustment, I picked going into the out hole with the gate up. It will stay down for the next ball rather than staying up. You got to earn that again. And 15,000 out hole lanes, or I mean out in lanes or out lanes. Are they in lanes? 15,000 for the in lane. Both lights come on, or one comes on then alternates. So I put it out on conservative. Anyway, I messed with all these settings, got myself 3 balls. I got myself some crickets, and we're gonna play one last game and then wrap it up. All right, one last game for the road. Oh, shit. I think I got the ball still in the cabinet here. All right, let's get that lined up again. And try that again. Okay. I will try not to just analyze everything that's right or wrong and actually focus on gameplay here. Oh, one of those drop targets is not original. That one there that I just nailed. Why, when I hit one drop target, does the bonus collect come on? Like, it seems very premature. It doesn't happen when I play this in tournaments, so might be another setting I might have to mess with. So I've noticed also that second drop target does not want to go down. Whoa, I saved that one. Okay, so knocking down that first drop target on the left should light the spinner on the right, but I'm assuming my light bulb is out, which makes the spinner 1,000 points. Okay, the game's a little bit leaning to the right, so I'm gonna have to fix that too. But let's see if I can rip the spinner. That's trouble. Saved it, but I tilted. That was a nice little shimmy. Okay, look, I get to play my ball 3 this time. Yeah, Frontier, baby. It's happening. All the pew pew pews and the crickets. That's what Frontier's all about. Uh-oh. No. Oh, I thought for sure that was going to be a tilt. That is a non-lit spinner. I need that drop target. So the drop target's on the right. I know they increase your bonus multiplier. It's like 2 bonuses in this game. I think one's from the left drop targets. This is kind of like a ladder here. And then there's this den of predators. I just collected another predator. And the crickets are starting to get excited. Oh, did you see that? Whoa, that's in there good. I'm sure I can muster up a target in my switch bin. Oh, I somehow collected a complete set of animals, because now I've got this in the middle for super bonus, 45,000 points. Whoa! I was expecting a sling there. Oops. A little bit of a bonus meltdown there. Alright, well that's progress. So episode number 2 is in the books. We'll see you guys next time. Alright, you did good today. This is your payment. Yeah, there you go. Alright, you come back tomorrow for your next shift, alright?